Good day, everyone, and good day to our future criminologist. Welcome to our class. The subject is Introduction to Criminology under the subject code Criminology 101. My name is Mr. Ryan Joseph N. De La Torre, and I will be your lecturer for this subject. And for a topic today, we will going to discuss the different school of thoughts in criminology. So, are you ready to listen? And buckle up. Fasten your seatbelt because we're going back in time where the pioneers are thinking of what criminological theories are going to apply just to analyze why people commit crimes. Stick around, guys, and enjoy this discussion. And so, are you ready to fly with me back in time? Very good. But before that, let me first read to you the objectives of our discussion. Number 1. Differentiate the classical, positivist, Chicago, and conflict schools of criminology. Number 2. Identify the key proponents, places, and historical periods when these theories were developed. And number 3, explain how these theories help us understand criminal behavior in society. And so, let's go, guys. But before that, let me pause this question while we are traveling back in time. Why people commit crimes? Story number 1. The classical school of criminology, 1800s, the century of enlightenment. Before, punishment for the crime committed is very harsh, very unfair, and very brutal. People think that when people commit crimes, they are under the influence of evil spirit, weak morale, or it's their fate or their destiny. Not until in 1700s in England, Jeremy Bentham developed the so-called utilitarianism. He said that people commit crime because of pleasure and they avoid pain. While in 1764, Cesare Beccaria in Milan, Italy, wrote a book entitled Crimes and Punishment. He said that people commits crime because they have free will or they have their own rational choice. Both thinkers believe that deterrence in applying punishment for the crime committed is good because this will be an example to people that doing crime will have to face consequences for the crime committed. Story number 2. The Positivist School of Thought, 19th century. In Turin, Italy, 1876, Dr. Cesare Lombroso wrote the book entitled The Criminal Mind. The book focuses on criminal and the reason why people commit crime because it is biological. Dr. Cesare Lombroso said that people are born criminal. And so, according to him, that if people are born criminal, he suggests that the theory will focus on treatment, not on punishment. Together with him is his students Enrico Ferri, who concentrate much on the social and environmental factor of why people commit crime. meaning to say that crime is influential or crime is situational. And Garofalo, in his thought, he developed the so-called natural crime, which means if people are hungry and they have no money, so what will they do? They will steal food from the store. So, what's going on, guys? Still enjoying the tour? That's good. Well, I am not done yet. I still have more stories to share to you. Come on, follow me. And now, let's proceed to the United States of America, 20th century. In the University of Chicago, Illinois, 1920 to 1940, there were these two guys named Clifford R and Henry McKay. They were the researchers of the so-called crime patterns in the Chicago neighborhood. And in 1942, they published their research entitled Juvenile Delinquency in Urban Areas. They observed that the cause of crime in urban areas are due to poverty, residential instability, or weak community institutions. In the number 4 story, we'll be talking about the conflict school of thought. In Germany, Karl Marx in 1800 and in the United States of America in 1970s, Richard Quinney developed the so-called social conflict theory. They both discuss that the reason why people commit crime because of economic instability. The more the economic inflation gets higher, the more people get disorganized and displaced. And this is the reason why people commit crime. And there is the saying that goes, and it is connected to this theory. And the saying goes this way: the justice is for the rich people only, and not for the poor ones. And that ends my discussion to you guys. And now I'll be entertaining questions from you. But before that, let us go back to our classroom and let's answer some of your questions. Alright guys, so we are now in the classroom, and for today I will be entertaining some of your questions. Do you have any question? Yes, Mr. Resty, what's your question? A very nice question, Mr. Resty. You are talking or asking about, is born criminal real? Well, this all started when Dr. Cesare Lombroso was working in one prison institution as a psychiatrist. And in one instance where he measured all the head structure of the prisoners, and he found out that there are abnormalities when it comes to the shape of the head of the criminals. And there we start researching about the what we call atavism, and that is the result that he developed the so-called atavistic theory. I think we are running out of time, Mr. Resty, and to continue your answer, we will going to convert this into a homework research. Now I'm going to ask you, what are the different key characteristics under born criminal, and what are the key characteristics under criminaloid? Because these are the two areas where Dr. Cesare Lombroso studied in terms of biological behavior in relation to the cause of criminality. And to add more of your homework research, please also research about the other criminological theories, and that will be our next topic in our next class to continue on this topic, the different school of thought of criminology and other criminological theories. So that's all for now, ladies and gentlemen. God bless you all. Keep safe and mabuhay po kayo. Bye-bye.